injured, and traumatized by law enforcement officials for over 25 years. I'm here to discuss the legal basis with respect to invoking military troops and National Guard units in Chicago. There is no legal, factual, or moral justification for President Trump to deploy any military troops or National Guard units here in Chicago. There's absolutely no basis whatsoever. As Governor Pritzker and Mayor Brandon Johnson have forcefully expressed, such a deployment of troops is unnecessary, unconstitutional, illegal, and immoral. A bedrock principle embodied in the U.S. Constitution and U.S. law prohibits federal armed forces, including federalized National Guard units, from engaging in civilian law enforcement activities. That means policing. That means arrest, searches, detentions. Specifically, the Posse Comitatus Act, a federal law, prohibits the military and other armed forces from engaging in actions that exert compulsory powers over civilians. There are very limited circumstances in which President Trump can invoke and federalize the National Guard units over a governor's consent. And here our governor absolutely is not consenting. Those circumstances embodied in the Insurrection Act, a federal law, do not exist here. We are not witnessing, we are not experiencing any insurrections, rebellions, or domestic violence that prevents the enforcement or execution of laws here in the city of Chicago or the state of Illinois. There is no justification for the invocation of the Insurrection Act. The other way that President Trump could invoke the National Guard is to use the statute 10 U.S.C. 12406, and that is used to repel an invasion or rebellion that prevents the execution of the law. This was the provision that President Trump and his administration used to invoke California's National Guard. As you may know, this morning, District Court Judge Charles Breyer of the Northern District of California found that the use of troops in California violated the Posse Comitatus Act. The court also enjoined Secretary of Defense and the Department of Defense from deploying, ordering, instructing, training, or using the National Guard currently deployed in California and any military troops to execute the laws, including, but not limited to, engaging in arrests, apprehensions, searches, seizures, security patrols, traffic control, crowd control, riot control, evidence collection, interrogation, or acting as informants. The decision by the federal court in California strongly corroborates what Governor Pritzker and Mayor Johnson have said, which is the deployment of National Guard units here in Chicago is illegal, unwarranted, and unconstitutional. We should not be putting our military troops and our National Guard units in this position. They should not be put in a position where they are enforcing illegal orders that are against our civilian population. That is not what is supposed to happen here in the United States. It's a bedrock principle of constitutional law. With that, I sincerely hope that this does not occur and that we do not put our military troops and our National Guard units in this unconscionable position. Thank you.